Dali-dali, sayang ang oras eh. Meron pa kayong isang topic kasama yun sa exam mo to.
Anong losses significant?
Ano?
Losses and efficiency po ata.
Example po, losses and efficiency.
Yes po, yung 25 dBA.
Ano yun kaya? Ano po example na yun eh? Meron ako example sa inyo sa testing on transformers para sa open circuit test, short circuit test, polarity test. Meron na. Paki-check. Okay na doon. Meron na. Meron na. Dun sa losses, kasi tatlong type din yung losses. So, meron tayo yung normal na efficiency, losses and efficiency. Meron tayong maximum efficiency at merong all-day efficiency. Meron na bang example sa tatlong yun? May check po. So, ibig sabihin, nag-solve na tayo ng all-day efficiency. Yun gayon, yung may 25 kVA distribution transformer, yun. Ang final answer ay 96.68%. Yun po yun. Okay, so we're going to continue our discussion doon sa per unit values of transformer parameters. Pinakita ko naman sa inyo yung formula. Ano po? Pero yung sample ko na problem ay voltage regulation na. Combination na siya. Ang exam nyo po, so bali 40-60. 2ILO po yun. And then, yung 60%, so problem solving po yun. So, dalawa po sa alternator, dalawa sa transformer, dalawa sa motor. Okay, so this sample problem was already given to you doon sa short circuit test. So, kung i-recall ninyo yung sample problem natin doon, somehow similar. And then, nakalagay din dyan, short circuit test. So, titingnan nyo ngayon, yung itinatanong. Okay? Kasi, doon kay short circuit test, ang question doon, the primary, calculating primary terms, the equivalent resistance and reactance. Ano po? So, dito naman, ang tinatanong is, calculate the percentage regulation at may laging power factor of 0.6 Okay po. So, papaano natin siya gagawin? Kaparehas din nung sa mga efficiency sample problems. Kunin natin yung P-copper rated. So, approximately equal siya sa PSC. So, SC ang subscript kasi short circuit test. Okay, so kukunin natin ngayon yung percent IR. So, sa dami nung naka-indicate doon na formulas, so dito siya pinakamalapit, E-copper rated over ng S-rated. So, i-check mo po yung formula na pinakopya ng ma'am doon sa per unit. Okay, so alin yung P-copper rated natin? So, ito. So, we have 195. Ano nga ulit yung S? S is apparent power. So, ang unit nito ay volt ampere. So, ito yan. So, 10,000. Okay? So, pakikalculate po ako, pakicheck kung ang lalabas ay 0.0195. Ngayon, kunin naman natin ang impedance. So, sa base from our impedance triangle sa AC circuits ninyo sa single voltage, so E over I. So, lalagyan lang natin siya ng S. Okay, so we have 137 over 4.34. So, ang sagot dito, 31.566 ohms. Nakuha din natin to, no? Sinolve natin yung sa short circuit test. Okay, so ngayon, ang kukunin natin is percent IC. Ang formula niyan, I1, impedance, V1. Okay, so take note, yung subscript na 1 dito referring to primary. Okay, so ang sabi ng ma'am, kapag nakita ng ganyan, ito yung primary, ito yung secondary. Okay, so we have 4.34 multiply nito, 31.566 over ng primary. So, 2,300. So, pakikalculate po ako, pakicheck kung ang lalabas 0.0595. Ngayon, ano naman ang sunod? So, kukuhanin naman natin yung percent IX. Okay, so yung formula natin doon, percent IZ, yan, minus percent IR squared. So, kung napansin ninyo, ito, so impedance triangle pa din siya nakuha. Ang impedance triangle kasi, ito yung Z, ito yung impedance, ito yung resistance, ito yung ating reactance. Okay? So, kaya siya IZ squared minus IR squared. Okay, so let's plug in the values. So, we have 0.95 squared minus 0.0195 squared. So, check kung ang lalabas na sagot ay 0.0562. Ayan. And then, yung delta natin, yung power factor, so arc cosine. Ano po? Arc cosine ng 0.707 is 45 degrees. And then, pag sine 45 is 0.707. Bakit natin yan kinuha? Kasi, kailangan natin siya doon sa formula, doon sa tinatanong ng percent VR. Ang percent VR natin, so diba, cosine theta plus percent IR squared plus sine theta plus percent IX squared. So, yung minus 1 ay hindi kasama dun sa radical sign. Substituting the values, so we have 0.707 plus ang percent IR natin 0.0195 squared plus 0.707 plus 0.0562 squared ay minus 1. Okay, so pakicheck kung ang nakuhang value is 5.37%. So, yan ang ating percent PR. So, i-expect nyo pag yung question losses and efficiency, voltage regulation, so usually, mahahaba ang solution. So, pakicheck po kung tama yung mga values na nakuha. Tama po. Nakuha. Nakuha po yung problem. Okay. So, yung next naman natin, so, nasa inyong module din yun. So, kung hindi ko man naibigay, nasa inyong module po yun. Sinabi ko na pag-aralan ninyo yung parallel operation of transformers, yung requirements. And then, meron tayong formula ng load operation for transformers sa equal at unequal terms. Sorry naman po ay madali lamang ha. So, baka sa sobrang dali, sa exam ay hindi nyo pa masagutan. find the KVA load of each transform. So, mahaba pa yung ipinagsulat ko doon sa solution. Pero bakit ganun? Yung, may nala ako okay. Okay. So, two transformers are connected in parallel. So, naka-state sa problem na parallel operations yan. To supply a common load of 175. So, transformer A is rated 100 kVA with equivalent impedance of 9.6 ohms, while transformer B is rated 75 with equivalent impedance of 12.5. So, find the kVA load of each transformer. kVA, ano pong unit yan? So, yan ay sa apparent power. Okay. Ang sabi, find the kVA load of each. So, ibig sabihin, dalawa. So, hinahanap si S1 at saka si S2. Okay? So, dun sa binigay ng formula ng ma'am, sa load operations natin for transformer with voltage. So, we have the formula. S total over ng CE1 plus CE2. So, ito naman, S total, so CE1 over ng CE1 plus CE2. So, yan lang yung kanyang formula. So, yung total natin is 170. Ngayon, ano yung impedance natin? Itong 12.5 divided by 9.6 plus 12.5. Ito naman, 175 times 9.6 and then 9.6 plus 12.5. So, pakicalculate po ako. So, ang lalabas dito is 98.98 kVA. And then dito, so we have 76.02 kVA. So, para siyang si Lita at saka si Lito. So, hindi naman lahat din nung ibibigay din sa problem ay mahihirap. So, possible na meron din madadali lang naman na ibibigay. Eh, kung ganito yung problem na ibibigay, tapos di mo pa masasagot, sayang naman. Ano po? So, yan. So, yan po yung ating final answer dito. So, magbibigay pa ako another example. So, kapag current naman yung tinatanong. So, eto kapag current naman po yung tinatanong. May 100 kVA. So, 20 kV slash 230 volt. Single phase transformer. So, with 3% impedance. Is connected in parallel with another transformer. Okay, so ang tanong, what is the secondary current of each transformer? Okay, so dito, so ang tinatanong sa atin is yung current of each. So therefore, ang hinahanap sa atin is si I1 at saka si I2. So dun sa formula, ito is I total CE2 prime over ng CE1 plus CE2 prime. So si I2 naman is I total CE1 over, kanina gay wala, CE2 prime. Internet check po, rinig po ba? Internet check. Paki-thumbs up po. Okay po. Yan. So, ito yung mga formula natin. Ngayon, so, ito, so, let's assume a common power base and then express all per unit impedances with respect to this new power base. Okay. So, dito sa problem na to, so let's assume, actually, pag wala talagang given na base, so ang ginagamit ay 100. So, assume 100 kVA as the new power base. Okay? So, pagka parang feeling nyo ay kulang yung given, so regarding sa mga base base, so 100 po lagi yung ginagamit. Okay? So, CE2 prime is equals to CE2. So, S new base over ng pole. Okay? So, dito, ang CE2 natin is yung 3% impedance, 0.03, tapos yung new base natin na 100, and then yung old base natin na 100. Okay po. So, paki-check kung ang lalabas dito is 0.02. And then, so, meron na tayong CE2. Alin pa yung wala dito sa formula natin? I total. So, paano naman kukuhanin ng I total? So, S, pwede yung ating S total over ng B2. S total over ng B2. Okay, so alin yung S total natin? Ang S total natin dito ay yung the total load is 200. So, 200 kVA or 200,000. And then, yung ating V2, so ito yung primary, ito yung secondary. So, we have 230. So, paki-check kung ang lalabas dito is 869.56 amperes. And then, pwede na nating makuha dito. So, I1, let's substitute 869.56 times 0.02 over ng 0.03 plus 0.03. And then, for I2, so 869.56 times 0.03 plus 0.03. So, paki-check po kung tama yung mga values. 347.82 amperes. And then, itong isa is 521.74 amperes. Paki-check po ako. Nag-recognition pa pala kahapon, ano. Ako nga ay bukas, aga-aga daw nung simula. Ako na kasi natututukan pa pag yung mga panghuli na pabaya na. Sige nga, itry nyo nga po aring i-solve. Hello? Internet check po. Okay pa? So, sige nga, mag-solve po kayo. Sorry po ay supplementary problem. Supplementary problem. Try nyo nga po, ari po ay madadali lamang. Pag hindi kayo nakakapagpalabas ng sagot, may problema kayo. One test na yun ha. And just voltage. Of 15 volts per turn. Parang naman naibigay ko lang yung example. Determine the cross-sectional area of the curve. Hindi nga po, sagutan niyo ito. Hindi ko ba yung nabigay ng sample? Hindi, ari ay area ang hinahanap. Okay. What is the volt? What is the volt ampere rating at 50 hertz? Parang kaparehas lang din yun. Iba lang yung following information is given for 1,600 slash 230 volt 60 volts. Okay, so may given kayo na short circuit test. So si ESC is 150, ESC 615, and then ISC 10.87 amperes. Nag-iba lang ng given. Okay? So, ang tanong, what is the percent resistance and percent impedance? Okay, you try to answer this for. Kapag ka napalabas niyo yung mga sagot na yan, ay pwede ka nang pumasa sa final. Kasi madadali lang naman. sagot dun sa number 1? A 100 kVA, 60 Hz, 2,200, 220 volt transformer is designed to operate at the maximum flux density of 1 Tesla and an induced voltage of 15 volts per turn. Determine the cross-sectional area of the core. Who has an answer? Basahin nyo. Ang correct answer po doon ay 0.0563 square meters. Okay? Dun sa pangalawa naman, a transformer rated 1 kVA, 240/120 Hz. Because of an emergency, the transformer has to be used on a 50 Hz system. If the flux density in the transformer core is to be kept the same at 60 Hz and 240 volts, what is the volt ampere rating at 50 Hz? Ang correct answer sa number 2 is 0.833 kVA. Dito naman sa number 3, a certain 10 kVA 60 cycle transformer with primary voltage rating 2,400 volts, secondary 240. The primary is wound with 1,100 turns and the secondary with 110 turns. Calculate the rated secondary current. So the correct answer here is 41.66 or 41.7 amperes. And then dito naman sa number 4, so dito ay in-example ko na din yun dito sa inyo. So nag-iba lang ang given values. Ang sagot dyan is 1.23 and 3.26. Okay po? So, yon. So, I hope matry ninyong palagasin ang solution. So, we will now proceed to motors. Okay. So, ibibigay ko muna sa inyo ang tayo ay AC motors na. Classification of AC motors, induction to the working, okay. So let me share with you the working principle of AC motors.
Driven by alternating electric current are more commonly used in various industrial and everyday electric appliances such as water pumps and fans. although there are several types of electric motors, we can classify the majority of them by the flow of the electric charge, either AC, alternating, or DC, direct. Let's discuss about a typical AC motor. A typical AC motor operates on the principle of electromagnetism and converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. An AC motor has a copper coil called armature, which is mounted on a shaft. The armature is arranged between two permanent horseshoe magnets. The coil is connected to two circular slip rings, to which two carbon brushes are connected. The other ends of the brushes are connected to an alternating current source. As an AC current flows into the copper coil, it becomes an electromagnet and a magnetic field is generated around the armature, rotating the coil. Initially, one slip ring develops a positive polarity, while the other slip ring develops negative polarity, and the armature begins to rotate. By the time the armature completes a half turn, the polarity of the slip ring flips according to the flip in the alternating current. Consequently, the armature continues its rotation forward to a full circle. As the alternating current, which runs through the electromagnet, changes the direction of its flow multiple times every second, the electromagnet will keep on spinning. Summary. An AC motor converts electrical energy into mechanical rotational energy. As the alternating current runs through the electromagnet will spin.
Explain the principle of operation of a three-phase induction motor. We know that when a three-phase supply consisting of three phases and a neutral wire is connected to a three-phase induction motor, its rotor starts rotating. Let's understand what makes the rotor rotate. When a three-phase AC supply is connected to the three-phase stator field windings, they start behaving like electromagnets and produce three independent alternating magnetic fluxes. The resultant of these fluxes is called the net flux. We see that its magnitude remains constant, but position keeps on changing with time in circular manner. Hence, net flux develops a rotating magnetic field in the stator, which causes relative motion between the net flux and the rotor. Since the magnetic flux linked with the rotor keeps on changing, a current starts flowing in the rotor winding. As per the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the direction of this current is given by the Fleming's right-hand rule. We know that when a current-carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. Similarly, when a current-carrying rotor is placed in the stator magnetic field, it experiences a force and starts rotating. The direction of rotation of the rotor is the same as that of the rotating magnetic field of the stator. We can say that a three-phase induction motor works on the principle of electromagnetic induction, where the relative motion between the flux and the rotor, caused by the rotating magnetic field, induces a current in the rotor, forcing it to rotate in the same direction. Related terms are
in my dream. Ay, auntie, mahal ko po ang anak niyo. 5 million pesos. Iwan mo lang anak ko. Hindi po ako
most
mabibili.
commonly used
Kailangan ko
electrical
magmamahal.
machines
natin, gawin na
They are
natin 10
cheaper,
million
rugged,
pesos.
and easier to maintain compared to other alternatives. In this video, we will learn the working of a three-phase squirrel cage induction motor. It has two main parts, stator and rotor. Stator is a stationary
Dito
part,
sa Main Street,
and
dito
rotor
natin
is the rotating part.
sabi niya.
Stator is made by stacking thin-slotted, highly permeable steel laminations inside a steel or cast iron frame. Winding passes through slots of stator. When a three-phase AC current passes through it, something very interesting happens. It produces a rotating magnetic field. To understand this phenomenon much better, consider a simplified three-phase winding with just three coils. A wire carrying current produces magnetic field around it. Now, for this special arrangement, magnetic field produced by three-phase AC current will be as shown at a particular instant. With variation in AC current, magnetic field takes a different orientation as shown. From these three positions, it's clear that it's like a magnetic field of uniform strength rotating. The speed of rotation of a magnetic field is known as synchronous speed. Assume you're putting a closed conductor inside it. Since the magnetic field is fluctuating, an EMF will be induced in the loop according to Faraday's law. The EMF will produce a current through the loop. So, the situation has become like a current-carrying loop is situated in the magnetic field. This will produce magnetic force in loop, according to Lorentz law. So, the loop will start rotating.
May tricycle nga tumirik sa
A
harapan ng shop
similar
natin.
phenomenon happens inside an induction motor also. Here, instead of a simple loop, something very similar to a squirrel cage is used.
Kaso masama sa
Three-phase
balat
AC
yun.
current
Subukan
passing
nyo i-try.
through stator winding produces a rotating magnetic
Yung
field.
ini-spray natin mga sir, non-toxic
So,
formula.
as in the previous case, current will be induced in bars of squirrel cage, which is shorted by end ring, and will start rotating. That's why it's called an induction motor. Electricity is inducted in the rotor by magnetic induction rather than direct electric connection. To aid such electromagnetic induction, insulated iron core lamina are packed inside the rotor. Such small slices of iron make sure that eddy current losses are minimal. This is another big advantage of a three-phase induction motor. It is inherently self-starting. So, you can see here that both magnetic field and rotor are rotating. But, at what speed will the rotor rotate? To obtain this answer, let's consider different cases. Consider a case where the rotor speed is the same as the magnetic field speed. Since both are rotating at the same speed, the rotating loop will always experience constant magnetic field. So, there won't be any induced EMF and current. This means zero force on rotor bars. So, the rotors will gradually slow down. But as it slows down, rotor loops will experience a varying magnetic field. So, induced current and force will rise again. And the rotor will speed up. In short, the rotor will never be able to catch up with the speed of the magnetic field. It rotates at a specific speed, which is slightly less than synchronous speed. The difference between synchronous and rotor speed is known as slip. Rotational mechanical power is transferred through a power shaft. In short, in an induction motor, electrical energy is entered via stator and output from motor. Mechanical rotation is received from rotor. Energy loss during motor operation is dissipated as heat. So, a fan at the other end helps in cooling down the motor. Hope you got a good introduction on the working of induction motors.
Construction of single-phase induction motor. We are going to see the construction of single-phase induction motor. Squirrel cage motor. Laminated stamping with slot arch stack. Aluminum parts are molded in the slot. All the parts are connected together using end rings. Front ball bearing. Rotating shaft. Centrifugal spring is attached to the shaft. Rear ball bearing. Rotor is inserted into the bore of the laminated stator core with slot. Insulated sheets are inserted in stator slot. Coils are placed in the stator slot. Stator core is covered by a stator frame or yoke with end cover. Ball bearing support. End cover. Ventilation fan. Terminal form.
Okay, so I hope you learned something po sa videos regarding sa ating AC motors. So, nandun yung sa single phase AC at saka ang three-phase induction motors. Okay, so when we say induction motor, the most commonly used electric motor. So, like any other motors, an induction motor consists of a stator and a rotor mounted on bearings and separated from the stator by an air gap. So, alternating current is supplied to the stator windings, and the current of the rotor windings are produced by the stator gap. Okay? So, introduce ko lang po sa inyo. So, again, so, week 15. So, ito yung ating three-phase induction motors. Okay. So, regarding sa induction motor formulas, synchronous speed na banggit dun sa video kanina or NS. So, ito po yung speed of the rotating So, we have NS is equals to 120 F. F stands for frequency over P. So, syempre, ang P natin ay number of poles. We also have the rotor. Rotor speed or MR. so we also have the rotor frequency. Okay, so yan po yung mga basic motor fundamentals natin, induction motor fundamentals. So we have the synchronous speed or NS, the rotor speed, the slip speed, the slip, yung ratio of the slip speed to the synchronous speed, and then yung ating rotor frequency. So the EMF induced in the motor has a certain frequency that depends upon the speed induced. Okay, so yan po yung basic induction motor fundamentals. And then, meron din tayong equivalent circuit per phase of a wound rotor induction motor at standstill. So, yon. So, kung meron tayong yung equivalent resistance state transformer, ano po, yung mga referring to secondary, so dito may mga equivalent circuit din. So, may mga formulas din po tayo para doon. And then, well, konting-konti na lang naman, yung tungkol dun sa equivalent circuit per phase, ano po, yung gagamitan natin ng power triangle. So, yung may apparent, may reactive, at saka may active real power. So, yun na lang naman, at saka power flow diagram of an induction motor. Okay po, and then yung mga sample problems doon. So, merely tatlong ano lang siya. Tatlong topic, isama mo na yung test on induction motors. Okay, so yung test, yung black rotor test, DC stator resistance, tanungin lang naman. And then, yung iba, so for babasahin na lang naman yun, so meron kayong synchronous motors, ano po, yan, synchronous motors, so yun naman, rotor speed lang ulit, yung mga EP, power flow diagram, so yun lang naman, it's more on efficiency. So hanggang doon na lang naman yung topic natin sa motors. Okay, so we will continue our discussion. So next meeting, kaso yung week 16 pala po na Monday, May 5 yun, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali sa calendar. Check ang calendar. May 5 ang Monday. Yung May 5 po ay meron kaming schedule ng performance test. So, I think maghapon yun. Gonna show you. This one. Yan. So, eto po yung May 5 schedule namin. May 5. Yan. May 5 is schedule namin. Kung mapansin nyo, simula po dito ay yan. Yung mga pangalan ako, it's either advisor or I channel. Kaya, baka hindi ko po kayo maklase on Monday. So, if ever po, so, Tuesday. So, Tuesday ko po kayo ini-meet. Tuesday ko po kayo ini-meet. So, to polish, ano po, everything. So, yan. Ano ba yung kasama sa exam? Ano pa ba yung hindi na discuss? So, yun. So, yun naman kasing alternators at transformers. So, naibigay ko namang lahat yun. So, yung iba siguro, kumbaga videos or kumbaga I'll try kung may PowerPoint. So, I'm going to upload na lang ano po sa ating Google Classroom. Okay, any clarification po? Any clarification? Iko may clarification pa po ba? So, kung wala na po, that would be all po for today. So, please comply yung mga dapat nyo pang isubmit. So, kayo naman ay isat na lamang. And then, final exam. Ano po? So, that would be all. Thank you. You can have your early lunch. Enjoy